Okay, so I'm gonna be showing you how to change the action. This is obviously a ukulele, but same thing for an acoustic guitar. Change the action, which if you don't know is the distance between the strings and the fretboard, and it being too high makes it harder to play. Alright, so there's a few things you're gonna need. One, you're gonna need sandpaper or a file of some sort. And if you're using sandpaper, I usually use a box or something. Anything with a flat surface, so you could hold it down like this because you're going to be scraping this little piece of plastic or whatever yours is made of, your bridge, on it to lower the action. One thing that's optional is this, which is just it's a tool to take off the strings a little faster. So the first thing you're gonna need to do is be loosening your strings. So let me just do that really quick with the tool. And they don't need to be completely off, they just need to be loose enough to the point that you can slide that piece out. And the last one. Okay, so once you have your strings loose enough to the point that they might not be loose enough yet, but once you have them loose enough, you're going to take this piece and you're going to try and, these strings are probably loose enough, you're going to be sliding this out that way or that way, just sliding this piece of plastic out. It'd be easier to do with the strings completely off, but I'm not willing to do that because I'm lazy, but it'd be a lot easier to pull that out. So you could do it with your fingers. Sometimes I'll use a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver or something like that, but it's not really the safest thing to do because if you slip you can end up scratching the finish on your guitar. Just going to loosen these up a little more. Okay, so now you're going to want to push this out. And if it's your first time doing this to the guitar, which I'm assuming it is, it's going to be a little harder to pull this out, but see how it's going now? No. Okay, so you can put your guitar, set that aside. And now this piece of plastic is your bridge. And you're going to want to take the side that, the flat side that doesn't have, like the round side, probably can't tell. The round side is where the strings rest on top, and then the bottom is where you're going to be shaving. So you want to grab your box and sandpaper or file, whatever you're using. And you want to take the flat side, the bottom side, and just rub it on the sandpaper like this. So you're going to start, this will start getting shaved down and lower. And be careful with this because if you go too much, there's not a lot of permanent ways to fix that unless you buy a new bridge. So I'm going to do this, and I'm using a pretty high grit sandpaper right now, which I suggest lower because it'll take a lot more off faster, but I don't have any. Alright, so once you do that and you feel like you got a little bit off, you don't want to do too much, a little bit off, you want to get back to your guitar or ukulele and slide it back in, or just place it back in if you have your strings off, and remember the flat side goes on the bottom, so I'll put that in now. Okay, so now that's back in place, and what you want to do is just keep slowly adjusting it because you never want to take too much off, and just keep looking at the distance between the strings and the fretboard until you get your desired height. I suggest doing little by little, pulling it off, putting it back on, adjusting it, so that you don't end up taking too much off, and be careful. And then after that, you should be able to tune it up, and that's it. Um, my ukulele doesn't have it because it's nylon strings, but if you're using an acoustic guitar and it's a steel string guitar, there's something called a truss rod, which is a piece of metal that runs along the inside of your neck, and usually there's an adjustment for it up here, right there, or right in the sound hole right there, and a lot of times you'll need to adjust that after doing this. I'd have to make another video to show you how to do that, but I'm sure you can find one prior to when I do this. What you want to do to know whether or not you have to adjust your truss rod is hold down one of the strings on the first fret and the last fret of your guitar, and then look at your 12th fret, which is right here, and they should just barely be over it, which mine are, so this doesn't need an adjustment, and I couldn't do that anyway. But that's how you would tell if you needed an adjustment. What the truss rod does is when you spin it, when you tighten or loosen it, it changes the bow in the neck of the guitar. So it's a good thing to know, and hopefully I get to posting a video of that. But that's pretty much it. After that, you tune it up and you're ready to go. This is the first video I'm making for this channel. I'm going to be making a few more, well, a lot more. As far as fixing guitars and adjustments like that, I'll be making a lot more. And I'm also soon to be doing tutorials and just playing covers for songs. So keep posted to see those if you want to. That's about it.